The story takes place in a bustling major city in the United States, where skyscrapers rise into the sky and the city lights never go out. In the middle of all the noise and movement, a young woman named Lena, 22 years old, sits on the steps of an abandoned building. Her clothes are worn and torn, her eyes tired, but they still hold a faint spark of hope. Lena was not born homeless. She once had a normal life and a loving family. There were 4 people in her family: her father, her mother, Lena as the eldest, and her 16-year-old sister Sophia. Lena's parents were hardworking. Her father worked in a factory making electronic components, while her mother was a nurse at a small clinic. Life wasn't luxurious, but it was always enough and filled with laughter. Sophia was in high school and dreamed of going to college. Then a series of misfortunes struck. First, Lena's father had a serious workplace accident that left him partially disabled and unable to keep working at the factory. Around the same time, her mother developed a life-threatening illness that required expensive treatment. The financial burden on the family became overwhelming. After a few months of struggle, both parents lost their jobs, and the family's small savings quickly vanished on medical bills and daily expenses. When they could no longer pay rent, they had to leave their home. As the eldest, Lena felt responsible for helping her family recover. She searched everywhere for work, from fast food restaurants and convenience stores to supermarkets. But with no experience and only a high school diploma, every door seemed to close. She couldn't find a steady job, only occasional odd jobs like washing dishes by the hour or cleaning houses for acquaintances. The little she earned was barely enough for a few simple meals. For a short time, the family stayed with a distant relative, but they couldn't remain there long. With nowhere else to go, Lena led her sister and parents from place to place, spending nights in parks, bus stations, or abandoned buildings. She often gave her share of food to her parents and sister, doing her best to shield them from curious stares and the dangers of the streets. Many nights, Lena fell asleep on park benches or in hidden corners of quiet alleys. People often looked at her with pity, or sometimes with disdain. "That girl has no future," some whispered. "She'll always be stuck in poverty." Those words cut deep, but instead of breaking her, they lit a fire inside. She told herself, "I will never give up. I have to find a way to change my life, for me and for my family." One rainy afternoon, as Lena wandered the streets, an older woman in a simple beige coat stopped in front of her. Her eyes were warm and wise. She handed Lena a sandwich and a bottle of water. "Dear, why are you out here alone?" she asked gently. Lena hesitated, then told her story, about her family's struggles, her failures, and her hopelessness. The woman listened patiently. Then she smiled and said, "My dear, fate isn't something set in stone. It's something you create through your thoughts and actions. Have you ever heard of the power of positive thinking? It can change your whole world." Lena was surprised, she had never thought of it that way. The woman introduced herself as Eleanor, a retired teacher who now volunteered at a community center. She invited Lena to visit the center and learn about their support programs. "If you truly want to change, I can show you the way," Eleanor said. With nothing left to lose, Lena agreed. The next day, she went to the community center. Eleanor not only found her family a safe temporary shelter at a charity home but also introduced her to a free job training program in computer skills, specifically web development. "Patience and determination are the keys," Eleanor reminded her. "Believe in yourself and your abilities." Lena began a challenging journey of learning. At first, it was overwhelming. She had never been good with computers, and concepts like coding, algorithms, and interface design made her head spin. Many times she felt discouraged and thought about quitting. "Can I really do this? Maybe I'm not smart enough," she told herself during sleepless nights, worrying about her family's future. But Eleanor's words stayed with her. "Positive thinking will lead you to success." Lena began changing her mindset. Instead of dwelling on obstacles, she focused on her goal, to get a good job to support her family and help her sister continue school. When she faced a difficult problem, she stopped complaining and told herself, "I can do this. I'll find a way." She spent more time studying, searched for resources online, and asked questions without hesitation. She often stayed at the community center late into the night practicing, long after everyone else had gone home. Gradually, Lena not only mastered web development but also became creative in solving problems. She realized that fate doesn't change by waiting, it changes when we decide to change it through willpower and effort. After 6 months, Lena completed the course with excellent results. With Eleanor's help, she secured an internship as a web developer at a small tech startup. Eleanor beamed with pride. See, dear? When you believe in yourself and work hard, nothing is impossible. Lena was overjoyed. Although the initial pay was small, she put her heart into her work, eager to learn from experienced colleagues. She took on extra tasks, suggested improvements, and consistently delivered excellent results. After 3 months, she had proven herself. The company offered her a full-time web developer position with a much higher starting salary. She continued learning, improving her skills, taking online courses, and reading professional books. Sometimes she stayed at the office late into the night to finish projects. Her salary kept increasing as her contributions grew. After a year of hard work, Lena had enough savings and income to rent a comfortable 2-bedroom apartment in the suburbs, big enough for her whole family. She moved her parents and sister in, ending their days of wandering and temporary shelter. 3 years later, with a stable income and significant savings, Lena reached another milestone. With the help of a low-interest bank loan, thanks to her good credit history and steady job, she paid for her mother's medical treatments and bought a small apartment for the family. It wasn't large, but it was theirs, safe, comfortable, and a symbol of their return to stability. It was a well-earned reward for her extraordinary determination. One evening, sitting in her cozy apartment, Lena looked out at the city lights. She remembered the nights spent on the streets, the harsh words, and the judgmental stares. Tears filled her eyes, not from sadness, but from happiness and gratitude. She had proven that fate is not a sentence, it's a canvas, and anyone can paint their own masterpiece with willpower, determination, and relentless effort. Lena not only took care of her family but also began volunteering at the community center, just as Eleanor once helped her. She shared her story, inspiring other young people facing hardship. She told them, if you work hard, believe in yourself, and never give up, you will never fail. The power of positive thinking can carry you through any challenge. Lena's story is living proof that fate doesn't change by waiting. It changes through sincere effort, determination, and, most importantly, the power of positive thinking. Like Lena, if we believe in ourselves, work patiently, and never give up, life will reward us with success. Instead of complaining or quitting, it's better to start with any small step, because true success is something we earn with our own hands and minds.